YouTube, it's Monica. Today I'm talking with Alex Jones. No, it's not the Alex Jones you might be thinking. This Alex Jones is a homeschooling mom. I think you're going to find what she has to say very interesting and informative. So let's get started. So let's just start with how many kids do you have?
I have 5 kids. They are ages 10, 9, 7, 5, and 3.
Awesome.
Yes,
cool.
you are 3, honey bunny.
Oh, big boy. So now we know you got 5 kids, so you're really, really busy during the day. What got you into homeschooling to begin with? I'm curious about that.
Well, I started thinking about homeschooling because before I married my husband, he said, when we have children, we will homeschool. And I okay, sure, I'll say sure right now, and that'll change down the line. But as my kids got to school age, there were some things that I had to consider, and I realized that homeschooling actually was the best option for me at that time, or for my child, really. When my son turned 5, I had him apply for the private Catholic school across the street from where we lived, and he was accepted, and everything was, was fine. But I decided once I saw the schedule that he was to be at school from 7:45 until 2:45 at 5 years old. I started to rethink that because I didn't think that it was really appropriate for my 5-year-old, who still really needs their mom, I think, to be away from me all day.
Yeah, that's a long
I didn't
day.
mind. It's a long day. I didn't mind a schedule maybe 8 to 12 or 1, but I just thought it was too long of a day. And since it was kindergarten, I would definitely be able to, handle the homeschooling. So the next child came, and as I kind of learned more about, and no offense to anybody who sends their kid to public school, but I started to learn a little bit more about the public school system and what they teach and what they don't teach, and I realized, our family can't afford private school. We can't afford Catholic school. So the only option really is to homeschool or to send them to public school.
Yeah, we could never afford private school either. Same thing.
Yeah.
With us.
And so, again, I was just thinking, I can do kindergarten, I can do 1st grade, I can do 2nd grade, I can even do 3rd grade. Now, 4th grade, it gets a little trickier, but
it does, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, fireworks, nice, honey bunny. So, I love homeschooling. It's just there are, of course, challenges day to day.
So how do you, we hear your 3-year-old there. So how do you manage with all the different ages?
I try to manage the best I can, really. Some days are much better than others. I know, honey. There are some days where I try to have some help, where I get a babysitter to come maybe twice a week to take the little ones out just so that they're not stuck in the house.
That's a good idea.
So it really varies, but we seem to get through it, and the good days really make up for the bad days.
Yeah. So you say 45 minutes for your 1st grader. So what do you cover or 1st grader, right, you were saying? So what do you cover in 45 minutes? Because like you were saying, the school days are so long for a 6-year-old. So what are you covering in 45 minutes, Kirsty?
Well, I use a curriculum that is based on a classic curriculum. So they're really interested in doing what's age appropriate. They don't push anything that they think is beyond the child's natural inclination to do.
What's the name of it?
It's called Mother of Divine Grace. It is a Catholic curriculum based on Laura Burquest took it from Charlotte Mason, I think. Is that her name? Charlotte somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So they depend a lot upon memorization, sequencing. They have to do poetry. So for my 1st grader, for Eva, every day she does poetry, which takes about minutes. Each day she does a little bit. She practices her handwriting. for maybe 10 minutes. She does a math workbook, which I use Abeka, and she does 2 to 3 pages and a speed drill a day. And then we do have religious studies, so she'll do either a Bible story, or we do some catechism. Then she does, what else? Her art is supposed to be certain music that I'm supposed to play to her, and certain stories from Aesop's Fable that I'm supposed to read to her, and she's supposed to draw pictures of. The music I don't do, though, because I send them to ukulele class, and I send them to art class for part of the year, or just a couple times, a couple months out of the year. But she's been doing art for a while, so I feel like it's okay if I start to kind of phase that out a little more.
Yeah.
And she's always doing her own art herself, her own projects in the house.
Have you guys discovered, because I know your oldest is pretty artistic, have you guys discovered just YouTube tutorials? Because they're amazing for art. It's really wonderful.
I discovered the tutorials, yes, honey bunny. No, you had a lot of sugar already today. You can have one tomorrow, okay, honey? Talcomwella, thank you. Okay. So, for Eva, first grade, it doesn't take that long. It's pretty easy. Kindergarten, first grade, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. They do ask her to draw. So after she memorizes one poem, she will have to write it out, the title, and then draw a picture of it. So she's using her imagination to make an art piece of that poem.
That's pretty cool. So how did you teach them to read? What did you do for that? Did you use the same curriculum, or was it something separate?
Yes. So in the curriculum, they have a book that we use called 100 Easy Lessons to Learn Reading, something like that.
Yeah.
And I showed it to you when I was first using it with Max. And in fact, I thought it was not very good, and I was quite frustrated, but I didn't really understand it very well. And then I realized, it's not that bad. So a lot of the times, the curriculum that I have to use, or things that I'm trying to work with, it takes time to really get to, you have to give it some time.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I use that book, and then I depend on Leapfrog. I depend on Leapfrog DVDs a lot for phonics in my kids' early age. That's how they've all learned their phonics sounds. And
that's pretty cool. And does it go like really in depth, or is it just like basic phonics sounds, or how are they?
So the Leapfrog has a bunch of different DVDs, or you can find it on Netflix. They'll have like the Letter Factory, which is just sounds, and it's of course fun songs so the kids remember it and they sing it.
That's awesome.
Then they have another one called the Word Factory, so where they'll actually put the sounds together in words and so forth. So they have it for letters, numbers, but that's what I've used for all my kids.
I wish I had that. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I've never sat down and taught my kids every phonics letter. It's been from Leapfrog.
They've done it from the Leapfrog thing. That's cool. There's another really cool CD that we just listened to. It's not a video. I gotta think of it. I'll figure out the name. Maybe I'll put it in the description. But it's a multiplication one, and it's these multiplication songs. And they're just good enough to be a little catchy, and the kids memorize them. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, if you have Netflix, you could find Leapfrog, a bunch of them on Netflix.
Oh, cool. Maybe does Leapfrog only do reading, or do they do math and stuff too?
They do math as well. They do numbers. I mean, it's not very advanced, but I'm talking like pre-kindergarten, first grade to reinforce it. It's pretty good.
Oh, that's cool. Very cool. So we have that, and you use Abeka, right, for math?
I use Abeka for math, yes.
And what is it like? Is it just like a textbook that you go through, or is it a lot of worksheets?
It's just it's a workbook.
Okay.
And I've been pretty happy with it. It's pretty colorful, and they just they do everything from like your regular basic addition, subtraction, but they'll throw in things like the calendar or the seasons. But it is math, so they're doing a lot of problems. They do word problems as well. So they'll start with really simple word problems for first graders. And then as they move up, my son's in third grade, he's still using the Abeka books. And they give him, a two-part word problem to figure out. So
Nice.
I don't know. I've been happy with Abeka. My fourth grader uses Saxon,
Okay.
which I've heard is actually easier than Abeka. I'm not sure if I find that so, but he seems to be, my fourth grader is working through it fine. It's not colorful. There aren't pictures like there are for the younger kids, but it seems to be working well too.
Oh, that's cool. And why did you switch over to Saxon?
Because my curriculum switches over. The Mother of Divine Grace, yeah. So I just take their recommendations and follow what they suggest. And if I want to tweak it, I can. So
I think that's really cool. A lot of people who are interested in homeschooling are kind of scared because they don't know what to do. And it's neat to know that there are these curriculums that tell you like everything to do.
Well, that's what my biggest fear was when I was thinking about homeschooling, because I do know moms like yourself who are able to research everything and pick from what they want.
Two kids, I mean.
But I know myself, and I need accountability. So I have signed. Mother of Divine Grace is actually an accredited school.
Oh, cool.
So I have to pay a certain amount. I get a counselor that I check in with every couple months. So she helps me not only in the school part, but she's like my therapist.
That's cool. I like that.
She's a homeschooling mom who is a husband, who is a wife, and got a ton of kids, and so she knows exactly how I feel and what I'm going through. Okay, so the school that I have them enrolled in, they actually do transcripts. I get a counselor. As they get older, they will have people to turn their work into instead of me.
Oh, interesting. How old? When?
Probably high school, I think, maybe middle school, but I know for high school.
Okay.
And it helps me because it's accountability for me. I get some help if I need some support, and also I don't have to worry about any issues like if the government comes knocking on my door. I have a transcript and they're enrolled technically in a school. So my kids are actually enrolled into another school.
Okay.
Which is a very interesting situation, but it's a charter school here in Hawaii, and it was actually open specifically because these people who used to work in the Department of Education realized that parents could homeschool their kids and give them just as good of an education as a public school. So of course, there's a lot of red tape because a lot of people don't like these people that started the school, right?
Yeah.
But their mission is to assist the homeschooling moms or dads or whoever to give them the tools to give their kids a well-rounded homeschooling experience.
Cool.
So my kids go down to class minimum of twice a month, and I get to go online and pick which classes they want. So a lot of times I'll give them a class that I think is fun for them that I don't do at home, like a science experiment or a field trip that I don't really want to take 5 kids to.
Yeah.
Oh, good, honey. And then it also does help reinforce what I'm doing or keep me in check. For example, I'm doing reading with my first grader, and she seems fine reading the books that we're doing. But in school, the teacher drills them every morning on sight words. Now, I don't necessarily agree with this, but I figured, okay, it's not the worst thing that she knows all these words, right?
Yeah.
So she gave me some worksheets and said, here, just work with her at home and, to recognize these words and be able to play the game in class. So it's worked out well so far.
Nice. So they go like just twice a month?
They go twice a month. They could go more, but it would be tough for me to get all my schoolwork done.
Yeah.
And with the driving and everything. So twice a month is sufficient, and it's a good break kind of for everybody, I think, from the regular schedule.
So is this through the public schools there?
It is. So they are enrolled in a public school, yeah.
Or in a public and a private school. It's kind of interesting when you think about it. With the Catholic school and then with the charter school.
Yes. So I will be pulling them out though after 6th grade.
Okay.
Because after 6th grade, I'm required to teach them the public school curriculum. So,
interesting.
yeah.
And
So
this is
I'm
in Hawaii for anyone who's wondering. That there's different rules in every state. So.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it like in California? Most of the charters they give money for classes like to take. Does your charter do that?
They do. In fact, that was one of, obviously, unfortunately, a huge incentive for us to do that because they give you a $1,500 stipend for each child. So you can use that towards school supplies, any curriculum that's not religious-based, or you can use it for field trips and extracurricular activities. So my kids, their dance class, their art class, their ukulele class, their karate class, their parkour class, it's all covered by that stipend. So when the kids are out, yeah, it is. I mean, it really helps. And when the kids are out of 6th grade, I'm giving them kind of this time to say that you can do this, you can do that. And come 6th grade, they should kind of have narrowed down what they like and want to pursue because we can't pay for everything,
No.
Yeah. Nice. Fish.
You like it?
I like fish. Thank you, honey.
Well, cool. Well, thank you so much for chatting with me today. I really appreciate it.
Sure.
Awesome.
It's nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too. All right. Well, you have a good day. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for listening. If you like the video, please click thumbs up.